My name is Jareen Bonner Grimes. I live at 469 Washington Avenue. I currently serve as the president of the Cobb County NAACP, and I am standing before you all because as a member of this community, that we live in this all-American city. All-American city is how we're defined. Hall of Fame city. To think that anybody would have any objections or comparison of Juneteenth to Veterans Day. I am a child of a veteran. I grew up a military brat, so I see the honor of it, but one does not go with the other. It never has, it never will, and as you all council members that have previously served in this capacity, you could have had Veterans Day any day of the week. And I see that those of you that know me, we've had conversations, I've supported your efforts. I've been quite proud of the city that I lived in, but I must say it's with great disdain that I'm highly disappointed that this is even a conversation that we had to have. We are a city that is not being recognized by a federal and a state holiday. Unheard of. People deserve that. People deserve that. And with all of what's going on, the reconciliation that Marietta, the all-American city, the president that you all could set as being the all-American city, is to kill all of what has happened on the Marietta Square by celebrating Juneteenth and honoring the people that deserve to celebrate Juneteenth. And we're not talking black or white. We're talking about all people in the all-American city. It's an easy fix. It didn't have anything to do with Veterans Day. People were sold on this Marietta Square. A lot of us deal with the history of that. This would have been a key way to reconciliate that pain. A key way for everybody in this all-American city that we call all-American city, a way to erase, not even erase, but at least set some kind of example. Some kind of example for other people to see that we really do live in the all-American city. We're not hiding behind any sheets or robes, that we're not afraid of people that don't look like us. We're celebrating Juneteenth, which commemorates the end of slavery. I would like to think that all of you all would like to see that end. But just based upon what we just experienced, it still exists, unfortunately. And a lot of us still live with the pain as we look into each one of you all's eyes and wonder, why would it even become a question? The county, the state, federal government, the nation. We could be the trailblazers to set the example. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Anybody else like to come forward?
Good evening. It's now evening instead of afternoon. My name is John Cole from Cole Street. And I want to support the efforts that they just made to have that as a holiday. You know, just living where I do, next to growing up next to the projects, lots of other stuff, and having history. My family goes back well before the Civil War here. And a lot of my family has been veterans too, so I acknowledge that we should have a Veterans Day. Perhaps, you know, Veterans Day is also a culmination of lots of different rights that we've instilled since the foundation of this country. Slavery, unfortunately, was part of that to begin with. It was ended. We had women's voting. We had the Civil Rights Acts. All this is promulgated together. Hopefully, we can come together and make both of those a holiday. They both have very important parts. They don't necessarily need to be tied together immediately. Hopefully, maybe if you could put I don't know what the exact policy is, but next month is still a month before June. Put it out there again, have the consideration of one, Veterans Day comes later, and get both of these on the bill as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coop.
Good evening. My name is Janet Arnold Savage. I'm a resident of Powder Springs, Georgia. Grew up over in East Cobb, around the Sandy Plains area. Also a member of the Cobb County NAACP, second VP. And as Madam President has already spoken, my heart is troubled. I grew up in Marietta. I didn't move here. I grew up here. As a child, I remember my first day in first grade being told by another student, "You are a nigger." I live here. I remember as a child, my aunts would come home and say, "Don't go up on the square today because the Klans are out." I lived with it. I am a wife of a black man. I am the mother of a black son. I want to believe that the city that I was born in, I have lived in, and I have also loved, loves me and my community. The thought that there is anybody on this council that thinks it should even be a question is disheartening. It shows a lack of solidarity. It shows a lack of inclusion. And my prayer is that you who voted tonight will go home and examine your own hearts.
I'm Sally Riddle, a member of the Cobb County Branch NAACP, as well as a volunteer with the Cobb County Democracy Center and other organizations. Honored to have been labeled by the Marietta Daily Journal as a Marietta activist. I'm thoroughly disappointed with the vote tonight. It was stated by some of you in the MDJ several weeks ago that you wanted Veterans Day holiday. So why wasn't it on the agenda? You could have done that. Why not make a motion to amend tonight's resolution and add Veterans Day to it? You could have done that. Instead, you vote down the one thing and just talk about Veterans Day. Thoroughly disappointed. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Attorney Gerald Griggs. I am the first Vice President of the Atlanta chapter of the NAACP. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, but my parents moved to Cobb County when I was 12 years old. I grew up in Mapleton. I bought a house in Powder Springs. I treasure Cobb County, but today I am ashamed of the city of Marietta. We have been on this journey of racial reconciliation all across Georgia. The state of Georgia has recognized Juneteenth. The nation has recognized Juneteenth. But the city of Marietta just took a very solid step backwards. So we stand in support of the Cobb County NAACP. We've been here since 5 o'clock to see this historic vote. The entire state will know about this vote. You have an opportunity to correct this. As the great, great, great grandson of a slave in this state, 5 generations, we have waited to be recognized for what atrocities happened in this state. 1865, we were free. You guys are talking about Veterans Day. I am the grandson of a World War II veteran. I am the son of a Vietnam veteran who worked in the city of Marietta as a postal clerk. He would be ashamed of what you just did. So don't talk to me about veterans. I love veterans. I'm the son of a veteran. But I'm also the great, great, great grandson of a slave. And he didn't get a chance to live to see his great, great grandson become an attorney, a civil rights attorney. We have to do better. We have to come together as one community. But that means recognizing the atrocities that happened right up there on the square. to people that look like me. So you have an opportunity. You said you wanted to celebrate Veterans Day. You have an opportunity to put that on the next agenda. But trust and believe, we'll be back on that next city council meeting, and the next city council meeting, and the next city council meeting. So hold true to what you said. If you want to honor the veterans, but you also need to honor the brown and black people from this town, from this state, that have been celebrating Juneteenth for a long time and will celebrate it again. It's time for this city to recognize the only way we move past our divisive history is to accept it and celebrate it as one. So I ask you to reconsider your veto, to reconsider the fact that some of y'all didn't override that veto, and to realize that history was made, the wrong side of history was made today, and we are taking names. So I'll see you guys again, and you'll see the entire Georgia State Conference of the NAACP.
Anybody else would like to come forward? I'd like to close the public